Good afternoon, everyone. I'm June Riley, CEO of VC Task Force. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. VC Task Force is an organization that supports the venture community by addressing issues of the day. We have programs for entrepreneurs and we have programs for investors. Today's one of the programs for entrepreneurs, and it's Gary's Pick. And I'm going to turn the floor over to the chair of Gary's Pick, Joel Rosenberg. Take it away, Joel.
Thank you, June, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's VC Task Force Gary's Picks event for investors and startups. My name is Joel Rosenberg, Director of Business Development for VC Task Force. As June noted, VC Task Force is an organization where the venture community comes together, addressing critical issues and hosting workshops and other events for the benefit of the venture and entrepreneurial communities. You may ask questions during the event, and time permitting, they will be answered live after today's interview. It is my pleasure to welcome Gary's Picks host, Gary Fowler. Gary is CEO and co-founder of GSD Venture Studios, an award-winning growth stage AI venture studio. Gary is also co-founder of the award-winning AI startup Yva.ai, as well as the investment firm DY Investments. Today, Gary will be interviewing a special guest, Sergey Galeev, CEO and founder of Displayforce. Sergey is a serial entrepreneur who is passionate about new AI technologies and its user growth. He is currently leading an AI-based smart digital signage company, Displayforce, a leading solution provider globally with over 200 customers, including L'Oreal, Apple, Bosch, and many other name brands. Displayforce has been recognized as Partner of the Year in AI and Retail by Microsoft. Sergey spearheaded the design of Displayforce's new platform that provides a hyper-personalized in-person shopping experience while keeping customers COVID safe. Displayforce software has been verified to increase client revenues up to 40% and is a surefire unicorn in the making. Take it away, Gary.
All right, thanks, Joel. I appreciate it. It is great to be here and great to be with the VC Task Force team. My name is Gary Fowler. And so, Sergey, I got to tell you, you're the first person that I've seen that has been an underwater robotics engineer. I've never heard that before in my life. And, and then you go to advertising. So talk about diametrically opposed. So just tell me a little bit about, I'm very curious, how in the world did you do that?
So it was a long story, but before, I really appreciate that you joined me to this meeting. So I want to share with you all my history. So I got my first academic specialty is underwater robots engineer, and I started my second higher education in marketing and advertising specialty.
When you did this robots engineering, did you one day say, I'm going to do advertising? I like it a lot better. It's like, seriously, that's like totally different, but it's interesting, right? And it really prepares you for some of the things you're doing today. So that's great. And, you look at it, your first business experience international, you did in 2009, 2008 timeframe. And then you created this great company, Displayforce. Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, so let's begin how we do this, because it was a long journey. So I started my first business with video production for marketing departments, and my first international business experience was in 2009, as you mentioned. I based model scouting agencies with partners. We sell actors and models to the famous agencies in New York, Central Europe.
Wait a minute. So you were doing model scouting and
yeah, because I really love the marketing and advertising. That's why the engineer side in my experience, I should highlight the engineer side, because to be engineer and have experience in marketing departments, this is a good way to create the product in marketing in IT field.
For models and actors.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead. Some of the greatest companies, I know Dmitry Volkov, dating.com, et cetera. I mean, it's a huge business actually. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not what you think. That's great. Okay, go ahead. It's interesting.
Yeah, so just after 1 year of after this experience, we decided to move into IT world because I felt a lot of opportunities in this area. So we founded a mobile app development company. And 2 years later, in 2011, it was in 2011, yes, I realized that this area is far ahead of its time and demand is still low for my ambitions, I mean. And after several major projects for outsourcing companies, for international brands, I felt that I wanted to do only one concrete IT product. And we started to look any ideas. And this is very interesting how we find this idea. One idea that caught me, it was after when I watched the movie Minority Report. Maybe you know Minority Report. This is very old.
Sure. Yeah, with Tom Cruise.
With Tom Cruise, right. And I was really impressed by the scene where the main character went to the store and there he was met by a hologram with personalized offer. I didn't know how to do this, but this idea caught me. We started to thinking how to do this, how to do behavioral-based communication in physical locations.
And so all because of Minority Report. So Tom Cruise,
yeah, maybe.
Tom Cruise, you've given some inspiration to a startup around the world. So it's fantastic. And so, you do this thing, performance marketing and programmatic ads. I mean, what's that all about? How does that work?
Yeah, so this is a good question. The experience of marketers in digital advertising has gone ahead in comparison with marketing in offline channels. And digital touchpoints and the point of sales have an audience ready for action. So we are focused on performance-based advertising where the marketers have measurable results. Marketers want to understand the effectiveness of communication measured in numbers. So that's why we start to relocate all this experience from digital world to physical world. And also another word from our technology is programmatic. So the programmatic advertising is automated advertising. We combine programmatic ads, hyper-personalization solution with our impersonal audience recognition algorithm and provide easy-to-use platform for in-store performance marketing on any digital surfaces like digital signage screen, LED video walls, kiosk, or in-store audio system. So with our solution, with Displayforce, marketers can use their digital experience with digital metrics, but in offline communication strategy. It means you can target right product for right people, for right place, in the right time, and evaluate the result of in real time for fast improvement. Marketing in physical space becomes to be the part of digital strategy with Displayforce.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. So, tell me about this whole thing with digital signage and retail, and how does that work, and what is it going to do for the retailers?
So yeah, so with Displayforce performance marketing platform for programmatic digital out-of-home networks with focus on retail spaces, we allow to retailers to redefine customer experience by hyper-personalization and allow to generate additional revenue from guaranteed audience monetization. With our platform, retailers can triple their ad revenue according to brand's performance marketing needs. And just for example, how it influences on value for our customers. Let's split the answer on three sides. For retailers' perspective, they have audience traffic ready for action. And in COVID era, they also have a huge traffic also in FMCG or pharmacy, for example. And these people avoid the direct communication with sales assistant. At the same time, they are choosing the products. That's why you can increase sales just with personalized offering. And that's why we can adopt call to action depends on the portrait of particular person. It looks like contact ads on the internet. I can continue with
this
more.
thing with hyper-personalization, we talk about it all the time, right? The future, to look at it. And now, look at the dilemma that the brick and mortar stores have today. So the ones that have embraced this digital transformation have truly, risen above. Look at Amazon sales. Look at where Amazon, they're saying they're up 20+% year over year for just this holiday season. So, I mean, this has dramatically transformed everything. And at the same time, the brick and mortar retailers need to figure out how to hyper personalize, how to make that product or service effective for that individual. So if you go in, and it's interesting. So let's paint a picture. Tell me how it works. So I go into a store, let's say a Walmart, for instance, and I've got the digital signage up there, or a Sephora. What would it do for me? What would it do?
From audience perspective, you can catch the immersive experience of retailers. This is a question, why we do this? Because right now, retailers transform to the digital world because new generation Z and Y really asking it. The trading floor becomes a part an immersive experience because it increases emotional brand value. That's why there are a lot of digital touch points in stores. But just imagine the rate of conversion of print and post materials to digital format is more than 40% per year. That's why it's time to boost the ROI from this infrastructure. How we boost this ROI? Mm-hmm. First of all, we can influence on your basket, because if we know what audience do you have right now, we can influence on the behavior of this audience. Mm-hmm. And opposite side, retailers can earn 3 times more revenue from in-store advertising with understanding of the real focus of attention. Because brands can automatically buy guaranteed contacts with the audience of sales room. All this has been the internet for a long time, and now you can do this in store.
I mean, how big is this market? What do you think? How big is it around the world? Because it sounds to me like it's really important, right? If you hyper personalize, you give the right product, the right place at the right time. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Time is money. So how big is it?
So this is a huge market. I know, so we can split this market on 2 different sides. The first side, this is digital signage market. This is very old market. They want to be modernized with IT solutions and AI-based solutions. The numbers, it's about 26 billion right now, and the growth about 50%. It depends on the countries. We have focused on the fast-growing part of this market. This is retail transformation.
Well, it seems like this could go beyond retail. This seems like this could go beyond retail too, right? Because you could be in a smart city environment. There's all kinds of different applications for it. I mean, it sounds like it's because that's what it's all about today. As I said, it's about getting close to that customer. So you're focused on retail. Where's the biggest value for Displayforce? What kind of a retailer would it be?
So I think in this stage of it could be FMCG or pharmacy. We grow very fast in these areas because they have a lot of customers right now, and we can increase their revenue and increase their additional revenue from programmatic advertising. So that's why we have a focus on these 2 sides, on these 2 points.
Wow. And what kind of customers, who are some of the name brand customers that you have today?
Oh, thank you for this question. I can't answer on this question very transparent, because not all customers give me this allowance, but just from our history, in 2018 we connect to Displayforce first 11,000 digital touch points in the one biggest centralized programmatic digital out of home network for leading commercial bank with 6,000 branches in 11 time zones. It was a very good start for our journey. This technology is new, and now we have 200 enterprise customers in 18 countries. Some of these brands are L'Oreal, Yandex, Microsoft, Logitech, to name a few.
No, that's exactly what I wanted. L'Oreal, Logitech, Microsoft, that's great. What about, in terms of your traction, what are you doing today? What's it look like? Are you raising money now? Do you want to raise money?
Yes, of course.
And what kind
Because
of traction do you have?
yeah, we very inspired in our product, and we talk a lot with retailers. They love our product. That's why we absolutely sure. And in this stage, we raised 5 million to fastest grow. Best way is investing this money to acquisition and the best activation for current leads. If we talk about the metrics, we started our sales in 2018 with a completed product. In 2019, we grow on 200%. In this COVID year, we grow more. In result of this year, it will be revenue about 1.5 million, with customer acquisition cost about 3K and lifetime value is 24. So in churn rate, yes, in very important in the COVID time, the churn rate is less than 1%. So Displayforce captivate retailers.
Wow, that's great. That's fantastic. Churn rate, that's amazing. And so you're raising $5 million. And, you know, what does it take to build an AI startup?
Good question also, Gary. You're on the top. So our AI is personalized audience analytics with fast algorithm that allows marketers to target relevant offers in the moment of customer attention. To build a true AI tech, you should believe in the market, you should have a passion. This is one side. The next side, this is pragmatic side. You should have enough time and money, of course, to research and development. Of course, if your AI is a real AI technology and it's your own technology, I mean, not open source solution that's available for everyone on the market and for your competitors also.
Competitors also.
Yep.
I got it. That's interesting. That's the Elon Musk approach. So what about COVID? You were saying about COVID had some impact on your business. What happened with COVID?
Yeah, this is not good time, but for us, this is a window of opportunities. Customers start to drive faster in optimization process of offline marketing, and new revenue flow from in-store programmatic ads is a trend in COVID era. Also, we add special product features like social distancing and mask wearing triggers. Just imagine in-store screens start to notify audience in accordance their compliance with visiting rules.
Got it. And you know, you've gone through this journey, this incredible journey from Kamchatka, right, the far east of Russia, around the world. You know, and you've gone.
Yeah, in opposite side was Alaska, and my dream was.
Hey, you weren't that far away, across the Bering Strait.
Yeah.
And you've gone from being an underwater engineer to advertising.
Yeah, it was a long trip through China. After we work in Dubai, in Central Europe, and go back to the Silicon Valley and US market.
So what are your dreams? If you could say, where do you see Displayforce? What do you want to happen in the next 5 years?
So our patience and investment in technology side give us a good jump from the competitors, and we going to continue this way. And we will be the leader among the marketing platform for communication and the point of sales. I believe it on it.
Oh, that's fantastic. And you know, one thing, you know, what is one thing that you know now that you didn't know before Displayforce?
Good question. So I think that mistakes are much more important than easy wins. Then I would be less worried about many failures.
Yes. So, you know, that the one thing it is, it's good to learn to have a difficult journey because it makes other things a lot easier, right? Down the road.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. And so you're raising money today. How many countries are you in right now?
18.
18 countries. 18 countries. Yeah. Listen, and you're using artificial intelligence and you're.
Absolutely. This is our own, and this is very strong. Our AI algorithm has won some international competition.
It's won some competition. So
yep.
Sounds great. It's music to my ears. You know, I love artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
so investors out there, Sergey has an incredible company, Displayforce. The world has changed during this digital transformation. Over the last 8, 9 months, we can see it today. Here we are in Zoom. I remember 5 years ago when I was one of the initial Zoom users in a beta. And it's an incredible journey for all of us. The people companies that embrace this digital transformation, the retailers, you know, I have a story, Sergey, about a restaurant that's very close to where I am here in Palm Beach right now. And there are two Chinese restaurants. At the beginning of COVID, one of the restaurants went out and said, we're not going to do business. We're done. You know, we're going to hold off. Another one of the Chinese restaurants embraced it. And I remember having a direct discussion with the founder. He said, I'm going to do deliveries. His business is up 200% today, year over year. He's very, very happy and his costs are down. Why? Because he's got orders coming in. It's much easier. Now he's got to prepare. So there's
Gary, just keep moving.
You got to keep moving. There's a great opportunity for each and every one of the startups out there. And I talk to startups every single day from around the world. This morning with Japan, Europe, other parts of Asia, just today. There's a great opportunity. I believe that Silicon Valley is truly a gateway to the rest of the world. Half the money in the world is still located there and the valuations are high. Real artificial intelligence, unsupervised, semi-supervised, ladder networks, variational autoencoders, etc. These are really the technology of the future. And the reason is, think about the data that's around each and every one of us. There's about 33 zettabytes of data this year, approximately. That's enough data. If we took CDs or DVDs and stacked them on top of each other, it would go back and forth to the moon 23 times. And it's growing at 62% per year. We need technologies just like Displayforce to make our lives better, to give us the choices of the kind of things that we want, to make it easier when we have that shopping experience, to bring the offline reality to the online reality, to make a hybrid model. And I applaud you what you're doing. You know, I've talked to you before. I believe you've got an incredible future, and now is the time. So I'd like to thank everybody from VC Task Force, June Riley, Joel, and the entire VC Task Force team for making Gary's picks possible to you around the world. Again, this is the time. If you have any questions, you can email me, Gary@GSDVS.com. I would be happy to take your email and talk to you. You can get me on LinkedIn or Facebook. This is a time, and VC Task Force has the incredible platform to be able to get your word out. Thanks, Joel.
Thank you, everyone. It was a very good talk.
Thanks, Sergey. I appreciate it. Joel, June, thank you very much. And that's all I have for my thank you. And we have a surprise guest that will be coming in 2 weeks. Our next guest, I will be announcing it early next week. So stay tuned. Gary's Picks continues, and we're looking for the best around the world to bring those to you. Thank you very much.
Gary, Sergey, thank you very much. It was a really, really inspiring interview. I think, Sergey, what you're working on is really bleeding edge in that area, and I think our viewers will find it quite interesting. Gary, we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, and thanks to everybody again for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks, June. Thanks, Joel. We appreciate it.
Just want to say goodbye to everybody and thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Gary.
Take care of yourselves.
Sergey.
See you soon. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.